So this is my friend's houseboat, 9 by 4 meter. The manufacturer name is Voma. They're based out of Poland. Basically made from wood, and it has these EE swimmers, which are quite solid. And it has some really neat features, like it has these corners, which if you ram something, these corners is just plastic, and you can basically absorb hit quite easily with these corners, and you just replace the plastic part, which is quite good because you see quite a lot of houseboats where the corners, and because they're quite difficult to handle to park, the corners are all damaged, or all the energy from the blow goes right into the frame of the boat, which isn't great. So they have quite a neat solution for the corners here, which is quite clever. And yeah, altogether it's quite a neat boat. Has a 70-liter petrol tank, 250-liter sewage tank, a 250-liter water holding tank. It has the cockpit is outside, which can be a bit of a nuisance, but it gives some extra space in the living room, which is great. And yeah, it's a beautiful spot out here as well, right here on the lake. Unfortunately, first thing I noticed is that my friend managed to completely discharge the batteries, which is a shame, really. So before actually flushing the outboard with antifreeze, I need to remove the steering rack, which is what I'm doing here. And I'm trying to attach it to this piece of wood because otherwise I can't tilt the engine up. And the engine really needs to be tilted in the winter to protect it from the ice. So now I'm going to connect this thing here. So yeah, this method with the small power drill pump, that works quite well for outboards. If you choose this method, you want to make sure that you run the engine up to temperature so the thermostat opens. Not all outboards have thermostats. The larger ones normally do. With this one, I'm not exactly sure if this one has a thermostat, but we made sure the engine is warm just in case there is one. Also, just to make sure that the antifreeze goes through the entire block and not just certain areas. Yeah, so that's really important, really. Usually, when you have an outboard in an upright position, all the water normally drains automatically. But in this case, you could leave it upright in the water, but here there will be ice, and when the boat moves within the ice, then you might get some damage. And really, you want to avoid really want to avoid damaging your outboard in the ice. So that's why I tilt it up in the winter and run some antifreeze through it. But we can see like over there, there's lots of houseboats which do the same thing over there. Because it's just a major hassle to remove the outboard in the winter, and then only to having to put it back in the spring. So these guys over there, they all leave their outboards tilted in the winter. So that works quite well. But when you winterize your boat, it's there's two ways you can do it. You can either do it with compressed air through the lines, or you can just put antifreeze in your holding tank. Obviously, when you put antifreeze in the holding tank, it's a bit more expensive because you have to buy probably 3 or 4 gallons of antifreeze, which can be quite costly. You need quite a bit also when you have a large holding tank. So in order for the pump to grab hold of the antifreeze, you need at least 3 or 4 gallons of that stuff. So that can be quite costly. So a lot of people opt for the compressed air method, is just to run air through the system and then open up all the tabs, which works quite well also on a boat. So this is my compressor, and I'm just going to find a nice connector that works well with the hose entry, so I can blow some air through it. So I've got like plenty of connectors. You can use this thing also to blow up a boat or like a tire on a bicycle. And I'm just going to find something that fits. That one should work nicely. So I just put this in place as such, connect to power, and then off we go. So yeah, we managed to get all the water out of the system. And also what's really important is after the water is out, it's really important to leave the tabs open in the middle position to make sure that there's airflow. And in case there's any ice formation, the ice can actually move and is not restricted to a certain position within the line, and then it just makes the line explode. So always leave the tabs in the mid position.